video is extra spicy. If you love dogs, this may not be the video for you. If his victims truly believed they did what he asked, why did they still die? Derm here, and today we're going to be cracking the can open on one of my favorite creepypastas. In case it wasn't clear, I'm talking about Smile.JPEG or Smiledog. Commonly painted as Jeff the Killer's pet dog for reasons I'm sure are loose and wibbly enough to be called redundant. I mean, are we serious? Come on, I know they're both smiling, but really, is that the only reason? Somebody somewhere connected them, and ever since, it's just been taken as fucking canon. We won't be touching anything fandom related when it comes to Smiledog, as most of the creepypasta fandom is just there to make them less scary, share fan stories, and make ship art. Don't ask me about that last one. So, the creepypasta begins in first person, written by an amateur writer going by the name Mr. L, looking to get some kind of information from an interview with a woman named Mary. However, Mary is not doing too well. She's locked herself away inside the married couple's bedroom, while the narrator and Mary's husband attempt in vain to get her to come out. She's sobbing, not having any of it. What he was able to get from her through the door was some scrambled nonsense about her terrible nightmares. This is when we learn the reason he wants to talk to her. Mary had been the victim of a horrifying cursed image, along with some 400 other people, when it was linked by an unknown perpetrator in some old forum. And that everyone else that saw that same photo was either dead or refused to talk about it. He says, "What caught my interest was the sheer lack of information. ... People don't even believe it exists, other than a rumor or a hoax." He's basically chasing the internet equivalent of "the man proposes, God disposes" victims. Beautiful painting, by the way. Have a look. But don't stare. He goes on about how knockoffs exist, and they don't curse you, so they aren't the real deal. The real deal, apparently, will absolutely destroy you mentally. And he does mention that he wants to see it, even though he explicitly tells us that it causes epilepsy that even medication has difficulty treating. He leaves, tries to find someone else to interview, and ends up eventually sort of forgetting about it entirely when he goes to college. And then Mary emails him. She is sorry about his previous visit, but the truth was that at the time, she was all set to give him the curse so she could have peace. Peace she hadn't been able to have for 15 years. Yes, she had been having horrible epileptic attacks, disturbing nightmares, prodded by the satanic beast who looks like a domestic dog but wears human teeth. All this time, she had stood strong so as to not give anyone else the hell that she had been given. She says, "Last summer, I was near the breaking point. I was going to give you the floppy diskette, ... I wanted it to end. The email continues on that same vein of thinking she could do this to him, but finding out that she just couldn't. But maybe someone else is willing to hand him the keys to hell's front door. Someone that will listen to Smile.Dog's orders. Stop, her last line reads, while you are still whole. Apparently, Mr. L didn't email her back, probably busy microwaving one of those ramen cups like the broke college kid he is, and was later contacted by Mary's husband to let him know she had ended things. While sobbing, the man said he'd burned the floppy disk to a nasty blackened lump and begged our guy to listen to his wife's email. Mr. L basically wound up dropping the subject like a newborn giraffe. Good, finally some sense in this guy. Well, as it turns out, all the scraping that he did paid off. Someone sends him an email with a file attached. And now he doesn't know if he wants it or not. Oh, epilepsy, that's fine. Nightmares. He ends the article with the following comments, and I'll give you a guess at what file he attaches under it. If I went through with my earlier intention to write a short article about Smile.JPEG, I decided I could attach it as evidence, and anyone who read the article, anyone who took interest, would be affected. And even assuming the Smile.JPEG attached to the email was genuine, would I be capricious enough to save myself in that manner? Could I spread the word? Yes, I could. Alright, Mr. L, buddy, I'm just going to say it. You're not that great of a guy. But, pretty good, I guess, as far as pastas go. I guess you could say I'm kind of a connoisseur. Now, as you can imagine, there are a lot of talking points left about the events Mr. L writes happened. Well, for one, we never heard from him again. He was a writer, and yet published nothing else as far as any of us are aware. In his own words, this is as good of evidence. This is as good an evidence that the photo claimed someone's life as any. Some 400 or so people are estimated to have seen it. We're told the fact that we never hear from anyone else but Mary means at least a good chunk of them are dead. I know it's a fake story, but remember, we are supposed to believe it really happened. So I have the two most important distinctions in this creepypasta. Point A. If at any time you see this image, it doesn't matter what you do, you are going to die. The entity known as Smile.Dog is basically going to torment you until it can't anymore, whether from your own actions, health reasons, or an accident happens. Point B. There is something he wants you to do, and nobody has figured it out yet. It's a very vague request that's being made here. Spread the word obviously means something different than just showing someone else this picture. That's just how it curses you. I'm sure Mr. Dog isn't complaining, that people are running around giving each other the curse, but that's clearly not how you save yourself, even if he wants you to believe it. So, at the bottom line, I think the monster in this story is just having a bit of fun torturing people. Spread the word is just a way for him to get fresh victims while he's at it. In Japanese folklore, sleep paralysis or kanashibari is a symptom of a bigger problem. It can be a curse from another person, a ghost looking to cause mischief, or, as I suspect here, a kind of spirit being called a yokai. Yokai tend to mess with humans on the edge. If I were to say what Smile.Dog is, I'd wager good worms that he is an Inugami. Called kodoku or kojutsu, an illegal ritual involved in starving a dog nearly until its death. A bowl of food was then placed in front of the desperate animal. At this point, the dog would be decapitated, said to cause the spirit contained inside the head to fly out eagerly towards the food. They were often loyal to their creators. At this point in time in Japan, if a family was suspected of employing an Inugami, none should marry into it, and what's more, the very idea that someone had done this ritual was enough to ransack their homes until evidence was found so they could be brought to justice. Inugami were often depicted wearing clothing so as to deceive onlookers about the state of their bodies, in which case, the lack thereof. So, is Smile.Dog an Inugami? If so, why is the legend foretold in English? Well, here's where things get even more unfortunate. In the year 1940, a documentary film was released titled chillingly, Experiments in the Revival of Organisms. Wouldn't you know it, this film featured several dogs bled dry to be brought back from death, and one white dog which was not. Herein we see the grisly nature of medical science, beheaded, kept alive, thanks or no thanks to the now infamous machine, the autojector. I will not provide footage, not that I ain't that sleazebag that'll show you some gruesome shit. You'll just have to go find it. I'm not risking a strike, I already curse more than a witch on Halloween. Did this experiment unknowingly cause the hound to be burning with desperation, birthing such a creature as an Inugami? Well, for one, this may explain the vague outcry to spread the word, as in, tell someone what happened to me. Since such a practice is not only illegal, but a form of torture. And for another, this would also explain the head-on view, often including as much of the body as the neck and a small fraction of the chest. Let me know what creepypasta you want me to cover next. There's a very good chance your suggestion will make the cut. I'm Derm, and I made this. Nyah!
Right.